February 2026 marks the definitive end of the speculative era of space exploration and the dawn of the Orbital Industrial Revolution. We are no longer watching a series of disconnected rocket launches. We are witnessing the construction of a trillion-dollar extraterrestrial infrastructure. At the center of this storm is SpaceX, a company that has evolved from a scrappy disruptor into a global hegemon. This month, the financial world is hyper-focused on the mid-June Giga-IPO, a public listing that is projected to debut with a staggering $1.5 trillion valuation. This isn't just the largest IPO in history. It is a fundamental repricing of human potential. Lead underwriters like Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs are now treating space not as a niche sector, but as the ultimate utility. For the first time, institutional capital is flowing into orbit with the same scale and urgency once reserved for the oil booms of the 20th century or the internet gold rush of the 90s. We are seeing a pivot where the logistics of Earth are being offloaded to the stars, and the IPO of SpaceX is the toll booth for that entire future economy. The stakes have never been higher, and the financial gravity of this move is pulling every major fund on Wall Street into the SpaceX ecosystem. The undisputed engine of this $1.5 trillion valuation is Starlink. As of February 2026, Starlink has shattered all projections, surpassing 9 million active subscribers globally. This is no longer just a solution for rural internet. It has become the backbone of global telecommunications. With the full rollout of direct-to-device capabilities, Starlink has effectively turned every standard smartphone on Earth into a satellite phone, rendering traditional cell towers in remote areas obsolete. This vertical integration allows SpaceX to capture a massive share of the multi-trillion-dollar mobile market. Starlink is currently operating in 155 countries, generating a high-margin, recurring revenue stream that is estimated to exceed $20 billion annually. This cash cow is what makes the SpaceX IPO so attractive to conservative institutional investors. It provides the stable cash flow of a utility company combined with the exponential growth of a tech giant. From maritime fleets and aviation giants to military defense networks under the Starshield banner, Starlink has achieved a level of market penetration that was deemed impossible just 5 years ago. It has solved the last-mile problem on a global scale, making internet access as fundamental and ubiquitous as the air we breathe. By funding the Mars architecture through the profits of Earth's connectivity, Starlink has become the most successful aerospace product in human history. The most significant strategic pivot of 2026 is the finalized merger between SpaceX and xAI, creating a synergy that the market is calling the intelligence constellation. This isn't just about satellites. It's about the birth of orbital compute. As AI models like Grok require exponential increases in power and cooling, Earth's terrestrial data centers are hitting a hard physical limit. SpaceX's solution is to launch modular, liquid-cooled AI server racks into low Earth orbit. By utilizing Starship's unprecedented payload capacity, SpaceX is deploying thousands of compute nodes that bask in near-constant solar energy, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. This allows for massive AI training and inference to happen off-planet, bypassing the environmental regulations and energy costs that plague Silicon Valley and Northern Virginia. These orbital data centers use Starlink's laser mesh network to beam processed intelligence back to Earth with lower latency than traditional fiber optics. This merger has effectively transformed SpaceX into a decentralized AI cloud provider, the likes of which Amazon or Google simply cannot replicate without their own heavy-lift launch capability. We are witnessing the first true realization of a space-native technology stack, where the energy of the sun and the cold of the vacuum are harnessed to power the minds of the future. This is the ultimate hedge against Earth's resource scarcity. As the SpaceX IPO dominates the headlines, savvy investors are looking for the next great opportunity, and that search almost always ends at Rocket Lab, currently trading with a market capitalization that reflects its status as the clear number 2. Rocket Lab has become the premier pure-play space stock for those wary of the Musk premium or the complexities of the SpaceX xAI conglomerate. This month, all eyes are on Wallops Island, where the medium-lift Neutron rocket is undergoing its final qualification tests ahead of a Q2 maiden flight. With analyst price targets now surging toward $120, the sentiment around Rocket Lab is electric. Unlike the small-lift Electron, which has already proven its reliability with over 50 successful launches, Neutron is designed specifically to compete for the lucrative constellation deployment contracts that Starlink currently monopolizes. Rocket Lab's Space Systems division is also a secret weapon, providing the essential components, from solar panels to reaction wheels, for nearly every other satellite manufacturer in the industry. While the January tank rupture caused some short-term volatility, the institutional diamond hands have remained firm, recognizing that Rocket Lab is the only company with the vertical integration and flight heritage to challenge SpaceX's dominance. In a world that fears a monopolar space economy, Rocket Lab is the strategic necessity that every government and commercial entity is rooting for. However, to maintain a realistic and evergreen perspective, we must acknowledge the formidable risks that threaten this orbital gold rush. The $1.5 trillion dream is entirely dependent on the flawless execution of Starship. If the rapid reuse cycle fails to achieve the airline-like cadence Elon Musk has promised, the cost per kilogram to orbit will not fall fast enough to justify these massive valuations. We are also seeing a tightening of the regulatory environment. The FAA and international bodies like the ITU are under immense pressure to address orbital debris and the Kessler syndrome, a theoretical chain reaction of satellite collisions that could render LEO unusable for generations. New 2026 zero-debris mandates are already increasing operational overhead, requiring every satellite to have an active deorbiting plan. Furthermore, the geopolitical landscape remains a minefield. As SpaceX becomes a critical component of U.S. national security through its Starshield program, it becomes a high-value target for electronic warfare and anti-satellite tests from rival nations. For the retail investor, the risk of a safety stand-down, where a single launch failure grounds the entire fleet for months, remains the single biggest threat to portfolio stability. In this high-velocity sector, the transition from moonshot to market crash can happen in the blink of an eye. As we stand here in early 2026, the conclusion is inescapable. The space economy has become the ultimate evergreen investment of our lifetime. We are moving from a world where we look at the stars to a world where we work in them. The impending SpaceX IPO is the starting gun for a new era of global finance, where the ticker tape will be written in the vacuum of space. Whether it's the global connectivity of Starlink, the orbital intelligence of xAI, or the strategic resilience of Rocket Lab, the infrastructure of the future is being built hundreds of miles above our heads. This isn't just about billionaires or rockets. It's about the fundamental expansion of human economic activity into a new dimension. Those who understand the data, the subscriber growth, the launch cadence, and the energy advantages of orbital compute know that we are at the very beginning of a multi-decade expansion. The risks are astronomical, but the rewards are literally cosmic. As we watch the first Starship of the day lift off against a Florida sunrise, we aren't just watching a launch. We are watching the departure of the old world and the arrival of the new. The question for every viewer is no longer if space will be profitable, but how they will participate in the most significant economic migration in the history of our species. The final frontier is officially open for business.